So what is a business plan and do you really need one? Now, the short answer is yes, absolutely. Trust me, to fail to plan is to plan to fail. And if you don't have one, I can say you will almost certainly run into problems. Now, here's the thing. If you head over to Google and just search business plan, trust me, you will end up down a rabbit hole. You'll quickly disappear down there. And by the end of it, you'll find you doubting yourself on, do I even want to start my own business? It can be really daunting. So I'm going to run you through the top 5 points for a really successful business plan. Okay? Now, number 1, you need to understand what will your business actually be doing. Okay? So are you offering something completely unique? And you might think you are, but trust me, go and check that out. You'll be surprised what an advanced Google search can give you. Now, if you are offering something unique, brilliant. If not, chances are you're going to have competitors. Where do you sit in that competitive landscape? What sets you apart? What are you doing that's different? What is your USP, your unique selling point? And you want to articulate all of this right at the top of the plan. I want you to think about, why do I have the right to win? Why will I win above someone else? And this will set aside why you are going to succeed, okay? Now, when you've got all of that clear, you're going to move on to point 2, which are your customers. Who is your customer? And more importantly, where are your customers? And you need to write this in the business plan. Now, most customers that you're hoping to attract, chances are they're currently buying either what you do or something similar elsewhere, right? Don't be naive and assume that just because you build it, they will come, okay? You need to put some thought and then articulate in your business plan, how are you going to attract those customers, okay? What is the cost to go out and find those customers? You'll hear us talk a lot about a CPA, cost per acquisition of each customer. How are we going to find them and what's it going to cost for each one? Now, then I want you to think about that loyal customer base, and is your product or service a one-off use? Or is it something that you're going to acquire that customer and then you're going to keep selling them different products over the lifespan of that customer? This is where you think about a single use product or service or a lifetime value of a customer. So when you hear people talk about lifetime value, it can often be you spend more on acquiring a customer if you are going to get multiple hits out of that customer over their lifetime value. So think about all of that. Point 3, really important. How much money do you need? Okay, now most businesses fail not because they don't have enough customers, not because they don't have a great plan, it's because they run out of cash. So here's the really important stuff that you need to understand and then articulate in the business plan. First of all, you're going to work out how much money you need to get started. You'll often hear the term bootstrapping used. So that's when we're going to do everything on the minimal amount you possibly can so as not to put financial strain on the business. Then you're going to calculate all of the costs that you're going to have to expend to get that business started and to keep it going. Then I want you to think about how much are you realistically going to sell of your product or service. And then on that, what is the profit you're going to make? Now that can be brilliant at working out, your profit and then your costs, and you can work out your net profit at the bottom. However, what's more important than that is your cash. So what you want to understand is, okay, when do I have to pay my suppliers that I'm buying things from? And are my customers paying me straight away? Or are they paying you on 30 days or perhaps longer so that you can plan the cash flow requirement of your business? Cash flow is a big deal and one that we'll cover in an awful lot more detail, okay? And then number 4, we're going to be looking at, what do I call myself? Now, I know that's probably the first thing you came up with when you decided you were going to start a business. Most people fantasize about starting their business and they've got this, I've got the name, right? Actually, points 1 to 3 are way more important. So I don't want you to think about nailing this down till you've covered all those extras, okay? Brainstorm ideas. Just because you think it's a great idea doesn't mean that your customers or your potential customers are going to think so. So ask friends and family, but try and ask them to do you a favour and be really honest. People often just want to get swept up in the excitement and say, oh yeah, this is great. You want their honest feedback. Then it's important to come up with a name that's memorable and easy to spell, most importantly. And then also look at the availability of that name. You know, is the domain name available when you do a web search? Can you buy the web pages for that? Can you acquire those social handles? Might be a great name, but if you can't get any of them social handles or web domains, no point starting on this front. And what I will say is, once you've established a name, it is very expensive and complicated to change it. So you don't want to be changing, you want to get it right from the off, okay? And point 5 is, how am I going to describe my business? So imagine that you're at a party and that someone asks you, what is your business? What do you do? How are you going to articulate to them quickly and succinctly, okay? Clear vision is really important. It's going to help you inform that plan. We'll also talk later about mission and vision and how to get all of those ready. So once you've got those 5 points nailed, those are going to go into your business plan. Now, those are pretty big subjects to get you started. So it's not a 6-minute job putting these together, but these will give you a starting point. They'll give you the basics to get going, and then I'll cover each of those in a lot more detail as we go on.